Well, hello and welcome to IRL F2 around Australia for round 17. I'm Sondre Sorhaug. I'm joined by Lewis Marshall today.
Hello everybody.
And we have a full grid today. So it's definitely not gonna be a boring race, although it is Australia. I don't expect too much overtaking here. For now...
More crashes, no takes.
Oh, definitely. Turn 12, turn 11 and 12, the combination of the fast left, right.
Yeah.
Definitely gonna be an interesting one to see how many goes out there. I know people struggled with it on the beginning of the game. Obviously now the game has been out for a long time, so people will probably not struggle too much with it anymore. I'm gonna try to see who is actually first out on track.
I'm on board with Callum Anderson, but
I think Paco Suarez will be the first one. And shall we start with guessing top 4 in quali already, Marshall?
Actually, I think it's James Sands first. It's in the start finish now.
Oh, is he the first? Then we're gonna jump on with James Sands. And you're right, he is the first one, and he's out on soft tires.
Top 3 prediction for qualifying.
2 front rows.
Oh, top 4. Okay, top 4. I'm gonna say Marcel pole, Paco second, Jared's third. Then I've seen try and catch is pretty quick here, so I'm gonna say try and catch.
For me, I'm gonna be saying Lee on pole ahead of Paco, Nino, and Marcel.
Every time you say Marcel, I keep thinking you say Marshall.
Nah, well, we see now James coming up to the fast left-right. It seems to be going well.
Very neat.
It didn't look too bad. As he's coming in the last sector, just a few more corners. It's important to take curb on the exit in this corner. Then down to second gear.
No ABS, that point's a killer, especially for me.
I know it.
I guess these guys use ABS.
Most of them, and it's a 23.257. I guess we will have Paco over the line there with
Jared.
And it is actually Jared who haven't done the quickest lap so far. So, as you might notice, there is a new reserve driver out on track today. Next is Jack Fox, that would be Jack Yates for you. Another Nexus driver. And he is
the takeover.
And he's actually done the fastest lap at the moment on Super Soft. Will be interesting to see what he can do.
I was watching some of these guys practice earlier, like Jared's, Paco, I think Nino was in there. I think on Supers they was doing low 22s, so I think that's a respectable time with Jack.
Well, if you're right by saying that and they did not sandbag in that practice, then that should be a good lap then.
Yeah.
Obviously we don't know that as Toro Rosso went out on the grass.
Oh, that was Takis, and he's retired on track.
Alright, I don't know what happened there. It looked weird to say it like that. I guess that Lee is on his second lap, going into the last corner out on the finish straight.
This AI suck out a Red Bull.
And that Red Bull has gone fastest with a 21.8.
That's a good lap from me. I don't think Lee was in practice earlier. So I'm not sure what his pace is like.
I got to say one thing, and that is, when it comes to F2, we did have the two Renaults absolutely dominating the first part of the season, but now towards the second part, the Williams are definitely there. They might be two of the three quickest drivers, I think.
Yeah, if anyone's in this room racing, can you invite Jeremy Coates back to that please? It looks like he lagged out. Because of course me and Sondre can't invite him. So spectator.
Obviously, yeah.
And I believe Jared's on another lap though, Sondre, coming into the last sector now. It's been fairly clean. It looks like he doesn't attack the curbs compared to a few more drivers.
As we are watching Jared then, as Jeremy has been and Jared is going into the pit, so shall we see? Nino is still out on track, but he is not pushing.
He's not on. He's not on.
Will he be going for another lap?
Marcel just finished a lap going P4 with a 22.7 on the softs and misses turn 1 completely.
Nino is not going for a new lap.
I think Billy's about to start a lap.
Already did a few laps on those tires. Chris Ryan, he is out on track now.
Oh no, everyone I'm saying are just running the pits.
And Chris Ryan does a 25.6 on the soft tires.
The only person who hasn't done a lap yet, Tim, he hasn't even came out of the pits yet in this Mercedes. So he's going to do either 1 or 2 runs this qualifying session, which is interesting really, because it's quite easy to cut turn 1.
It is,
and 2.
It's good to see that Bottlewood, aka Aaron Collingwood, he's watching the stream, even though he has retired as a driver. Big shame losing a driver of his caliber. As we see that Chris is still going for a lap on his soft tires into the last sector now. Low on the ERS, but it will be enough to take him to the finish line.
Yeah, it should be. Oh, he's gone a bit wide onto the gravel.
Well, a bit wide, yeah, but
I'll lose him about a 10th or so.
I probably didn't listen too much because he's still going, and it will be at 23.1, so a big improvement by him on that lap.
I think Chris will be very happy with that lap.
Yeah, I think it will. It puts him in P8 for the moment.
If I was Chris now, I'll be happy with that lap. But seeing that last sector, he'll know he can improve by a few more attempts. So I'll be quite motivated. Probably. I think he can be up there with like Jared and
see
Joe.
That we have Callum Anderson starting a lap now. Callum in the Force India, he struggled a lot during this season. He just haven't had the pace to be there up there with the fastest drivers, and yeah, I don't know. I can't remember exactly what he said last time. I just think he wants a finish.
Can anybody try and catch his time?
That is Thomas McIver for you. And he's done a 21.7.
I've been waiting to do that since F7. Oh my god, and Tim's crashed on his out lap. Or was it his out lap? I have no idea. But
I think it was.
I think it was that flat out right turn. I think he dipped to
as
into the grass.
Michael Marl has gone first with a 21.6, a 10th quicker than Thomas. Ooh, and Callum almost losing it in turn 12. As he goes into the last few corners now.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Aaron.
Fast right-hander. So, Christos and Tim will definitely start at the back. As we have Callum coming to the line, it is a 1:23.4, which puts him right behind Chris.
maybe invalid by Paco, who's on the lap on softs. Was that invalid? It was not. Okay.
Well, he's still going. He's still using RS, so probably not.
Catch.
As the Toro also barely got out of the way.
Is it
Paco
an
is
ultras
coming.
for you, or is it on softs?
Soft. I have the
Yeah,
tires
it
up,
says
so.
it's on softs for me.
And
Oh, well, yeah,
it's
it's on softs.
sixth. Just 2/10 behind Nino Romanello.
Well, I noticed about Jared and Paco. They're not usually up there in qualifying in the race. They usually up there in
Have you seen the comment in the live stream, Luis?
Paco likes it on the wall. Yeah.
Is that right?
Most of the time.
Most of the time, as Billy goes 6th place on Supers with a 22 flat. Billy also a driver who struggled. Both the Force India drivers have struggled this season. Shall we see who might be on a lap? Yellows in Sector 3.
What's the strategy for this race? Is it super
strategy? Well, I mean, you can do ultras. You can do ultras and do one stop, but some people will struggle with the tires. So if you're not sure, then it might be best to just go supers.
Oh, God,
as Paco comes to the line again and does a 21.5 on soft tires.
It looks like they were sandbagging earlier in that practice session. But it could be just for that max fuel mixture. Yes.
Could be. Well, then it looks like at the moment it looks like it's gonna be a fight between the Williamses and Paco Suarez.
I think widely Billy's about to start a lap in this Force India.
Yeah, he is about to start a lap, so let's have a look at Billy again then. As he's
proving this season to be pretty quick.
He's proven that a few times, but he's also struggled.
Yeah. Getting into
city
instance as well.
Around these corners, I feel like he might have been a little too cautious in the first sector. And he's a bit down on his lap time, so I might be right with that then. So he's into the second sector.
He does look very cautious on his lap.
And he's coming
and Tyler Thomas has been disqualified.
And that is not a good thing for the Ferrari driver.
He's done at 10, 11 and 12. I think it was just trying to get back on track.
Speaking of turn 11 and 12, Billy almost loses his out of that corner. And he's in the last sector. I feel like Billy has seemed... Oh, and that is way too wide. He even got his tires into the gravel and he goes in, so I guess he might have invalidated that lap in the end then.
I don't think Billy's got a good setup on. It looks like he's struggling for understeer. So maybe
that could be the issue. I don't know. As we see that Thomas MacIver, the Toro Rosso driver, is out on ultra soft tires.
Is that try and catch?
Yeah, that is try and catch. And he is on a lap, coming up to turn 11 and 12 now. It's almost disappointing that we haven't seen anybody crashing out of that corner yet. Although Thomas is way too wide and that have to have been invalidated.
I don't think that is invalid.
No, I don't think so either, because he's still pushing in hot lap. He's coming up to the second to last corner. A bit wide there too. Oh, and this lap is...
Yeah. That's going to affect his run down to the main straight as well. Onto the gravel again.
Yeah, and it is still a 3/10 improvement, so that lap might have been down in the 20s then. considering he
Yeah,
got to have
probably like
lost a little time.
possible 21 flats, 20.9 maybe.
Shall we see who... And a lot of drivers going out now. I see that Marcel is out and he's on a lap. Coming up to turn 11 and 12. Looked quick through there. Into this fast left-hander. He got to use that outside curve, but that might have been a bit too much. As he's coming into the last corner. He's really pushing it wide a few places now. And he comes to the line and it's a 21-4.
And Shane's spun.
And it is on supers, so...
I've never seen anybody spin there and the game before. And it's retired.
And Shane has retired, so... Oh, and I didn't notice it, but Joe Hollis has also retired.
It's the exit of
Marcel has retired.
Look at everybody.
Vassman in the last sector. He is trying to create a gap in front of him. Right when one of the Toro Rossos came. And Louis Vassman going on his lap now.
Jared's P11 right now. And you know he's not
down in 11th. That is not a good position for him. Vassman retires as he, I think he invalidated this lap. We're gonna go on board with the Williams driver of Nino Romanello as he runs out of ERS before the start-finish line. And it is a 21-7, so it is 5th place at the moment. He's not going for another lap.
I'm on board with Jared, the championship leader in the Renault. He's...
You know, I think we're gonna go on board with him. I know that his teammate is right behind him too, so... Gonna get both of them over the line then. Nino has retired, and Lee goes first with a 20.7 on the super soft tires. That's a good time, I think.
Yeah, it is.
I think it is.
I don't know what times I can do, but I think it's pretty quick.
Collingwood with his prediction already. Jared crashing in the at the left right on lap 1. As we see Jared going through that left right there, and he's now hitting traffic. I hope this goes out of his way, unless it's on a lap though.
I think
he's on a lap, yeah. As they're coming, but you know he will be getting a toll then to the line, and this lap will be a 21-8.
I mean P8, the championship leader.
Paco is done. The only one who is still out is Thomas McIver, which didn't have a front wing.
Yeah, he just drove into the wall on my screen.
Tyler Rhodes betting 20 quid on there being a crash at turn 1.
Oh, there's obviously going to be a crash.
You know, I'm not going to bet against that. Would be surprised if it wasn't, to be honest.
I think the midfield will be quite sketchy.
Something to mention for everyone's watching: a lot of the drivers are driving with black helmets to pay their respects to the recent passing of Charlie Whiting, great man to the Formula 1 sport, who's now away. It's a good gesture by drivers to wear black helmets. They were encouraged by us too. And I know that you, Marshall, you are going to wear a black helmet for your races this weekend too, aren't you?
Yeah, I am.
as I will also be doing. Just to mention, as who are we waiting on? Jeremy Pope.
Yeah, I'm Jeremy Pope.
And the driver's noticing that.
I don't think it's Jeremy. I think he's lagged out.
Now Jeremy joined back. But yeah, it looks like we might get a problem with this.
Great game, this is.
Codemasters for you. People telling Jeremy to ready up, but I'm not sure if he can do anything right now. We might have a glitched lobby, got to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jeremy can't do anything. Lewis, could you try to leave and rejoin, see if that helps?
Oh no,
You
I
have
can't
another
leave.
invite, right?
Yeah, I do, but I can't leave. I have to restart my game.
Yeah, but you could try to do that. Because if that works, then we don't need to restart the lobby.
Okay, I've backed out.
No. Alder, you
Is it not
backed
working?
out. We'll see. Please work. Louis Bassman leaving too.
Maybe a possible restart.
Yeah,
I've
it
seen what Callum
looks
said in
like
the
we're
chat.
going to have to do
I
a
think
restart. So
I
Jared, I
think Callum's
know.
right. I think Fly High needs to restart his game.
Yeah, but then he won't be able to race, so then it's going to be a restart. Because his car guy
He
isn't
can
going to
join
be on the
back in
grid
the
now.
formation lap, though.
Well, maybe we'll try to see if he manages to get in. I don't think he will, and now other people is leaving too.
So I'm joining back again.
Which means that... Well, he actually joined back again though. But now other people are leaving, so...
Yeah, it's
Jared,
not letting
please
me.
get the lobby up quickly.
And
Or are
thanks,
everybody
James, for
rejoining?
putting the top 14 in.
I'm confused. I saw people rejoining again, but I don't know if
I think that's a
everybody
restart.
was able to do that.
Oh, no. I don't want to invite anyone.
No. So... Then we are leaving and waiting for an invite by Jared.
As soon as we wait for the new invite, who's your standout in qualifying today in
My
F2?
standout? I got to tell you, my standout is definitely Thomas MacGyver, the guy in
Yeah,
second, the reserve
yeah,
driver.
I agree.
He surprised me with that lap and with the fact that he ended up in second place.
I've seen his pace earlier, and it looks pretty solid. So hopefully he can do good things in today's race.
And to Aaron, I've already done that. I know who should be starting on what, so there will be
Yeah,
penalties for
James.
drivers if they choose another tire than they should start on. Well,
Okay.
obviously.
Yeah.
But I really need that invite from Jared soon.
So Lee Kelly is on the soft supers. Try and Catch is on the ultras. Marcel's on the supers.
Hmm.
Billy ultras.
Yeah, they couldn't hear you for a
Nino.
moment.
Why do you on game thing? You
I got
absolute
an invite
wally.
from Jared. I had to join it so that. Shall we see then? Trying to invite everybody quickly. And you've gotten an invite to the session, I see. Um, Alright, so who's missing from the lobby at the moment?
We need to go and spectate, so we need 4 more people. No, we need 3 more people. No, everybody's joining, but I just keep saying that. We need 2 more people. Because you're not a spectator yet. And I'm not sure who the 2 people are. Okay, one of them was Jack Fox, because they just joined, and then the other one was Louis. Or Lewis, whatever his name is.
So, Jared, if you're listening to the stream, please get it done quickly. There is one driver who's missing. Who's that?
I
Merc.
think
Who
it's
was in
Louis.
Merc?
It was a Merc that was...
Jack was in Merc,
Was it
wasn't
not
it?
Jack Fox? Yeah.
Yeah. Lewis Bosman is joining. Lee is missing. I don't know. Well, I'm biting both of his accounts. Well, it looks like he has joined now.
By the way, who...
Then I'm just going to send out a backup invite to everyone. Yep. Who have I not sent backup invite to yet? Do you need one? I gotcha.
Tyler Thomas said in the chat, formation activity of 3 wide to lead. I'm guessing that's the part of the wide thing after it's passing. So it depends if drivers are going to do that. Not everybody's going to see. So if you say that in the chat, then maybe.
I don't think people will do that because of tire temps. Then it's gonna be bad.
Yeah, true.
Wait, who is missing
Maybe.
now? Jack.
Oh wait, yeah, he said he's going to get a black helmet.
Well, he's back now. I'm in spectate, you're in spectate. He has got in his car. So then we're just waiting on Jared to be done with the grid. If you could just make a message in the chat, Lewis, about everyone starting on the tires they were on inside the top 10. Say that there will be penalties for drivers who start on other tires.
Yeah.
While we're waiting, it looks like Jared has readied up, so I guess that means that we are ready then.
Yeah. I'm almost done with that message. There we go.
And if everybody could just ready up then. We'll be close to disqualification, Tyler, if you don't start on the correct tire.
What penalty would there be?
If you're outside of the top 10, then obviously you can start on whichever tire you want, Chris.
Yeah, Chris. Yeah, Chris. You can start on any tyres. If you're outside the top 10, any tyres. Even the wet tyres if it's dry.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't actually prefer to start on wet tires, but...
You can do
And
it for bands.
why... Oh, who's missing now?
For God's sake.
Marcel is missing now. Well, he is back, so... Oh, wait. Oh, then Jared has got to put him back in his space, I think.
Okay, Marcel's back.
I really hope that I will be able to stream everything, because we're getting close to that. I won't be able to actually stream the last few laps now.
What, because you got a race tonight, or?
No, I gotta have to drive my mother and a friend of her before 7. So,
Oh.
I mean, Australia, I think that should...
It should be about a 50-minute race, I'm guessing.
Yeah, which means
We
that...
might have to miss, probably can do top 3 podiums interviews.
There will most likely don't be any podium interviews today.
Yeah.
Or interviews for that matter. But we are starting now at least. Just
I'll put in the chat now. There'll be no interviews today.
Oh. lobby. Then I guess we just wait on everyone to choose their setup, tires,
Oh yeah, I can
strategy.
imagine a few people forgetting their setup.
It could happen, but we're not doing a restart if anybody forget to load their setup.
Yeah, it's their own fault if they do that. Even though I've done it
Yeah,
in the
that is
past.
as much as their fault as it can be, to be fair. Few people readied up already. So, our top 3 for this race, did we do that, Jared? No, I don't think we did.
What is it? What is it, Jared?
I mean, Lewis. Sorry about that.
That's why I just stayed silent. I was just waiting for you to say it.
Sorry about that. Well, Lewis, your top 3 now. And it looks like everybody is starting on the correct tires.
I need to see what tires everybody's on. And Lee Kelly's gone off on the formation lap. So that's a good start.
Supers, ultras, supers. Ultra soft, ultras.
Yeah,
Super,
that looks
supers,
about right.
ultras. Yeah, so everybody is starting on the correct tire, which means that, well, nobody will be disqualified or getting any penalty for starting on the wrong tires then.
Lee Kelly can't stay off the grass.
And it is nice to see that I do see that a lot of the drivers do wear their black helmets.
Yeah.
Well, your top 3, Lewis.
I'm gonna say Lee Kelly, Marcel, and Nino, top 3.
Oh. You know, for the first time, Lewis, I think we agree on our top 3, because that was what I was going to say too. Lee, Marcel, and Nino. So we both have faith in the 3 same driver this time then.
I think Paco will struggle and then soft tyres.
Yeah, I think that's what I think too. He will be quick on the second stint, but I think he might fall too far back on the first stint.
And I agree with what Aaron said earlier, but not in the same place. I think Jared's will boss it today. I'm sorry, Jared, because I know you're in the street, but I just think you'll crash at some point.
And we're gonna see if we can find a good view then.
Yeah, I'll find awful view.
There we are, and it's 5 red lights, and it is a terrible start for one of the Force Indias. That should be Billy, and we can see that Lee does defend his position into turn 1, and Paco has spun and taking Nino with him.
Oh, there goes our prediction in the
And there was a turn 1 crash then. On the other hand, the Sauber of Louis Wasman has gotten himself up to... Oh, what has happened with Lee?
Wait, Lee Kelly's gone as well.
Lee has also crashed or spun or something.
It's a Red Bull off as well.
Which leaves us with Thomas in the lead. Or, well, he's getting challenged by Marcel right now, as Shane has left the lobby.
Those are our predictions.
And it's a virtual. Yeah, our prediction went right out of the window, except for Marcel, obviously. He's still up there. In second, probably the... Out of the top 4 drivers, he is on the best strategy, in my opinion. I know that Aaron is gonna slaughter me in the stream chat if you heard that, because he would have gone on ultras. Roads, I'm 20 20 quid richer.
It is, well, yeah, I think it's Paco and Nino
And
into turn 1.
it's, oh my god, I just saw somebody mount someone.
Oh wow.
Which was definitely lag, I believe.
Only co-masters, you can see that way.
Oh, and Kelly with a speed, with a 5-second stop and go for speeding into the pit. Nino will be held up by Kelly. Both of the Renaults actually went into the pit to pit for soft tires, as the virtual is over now, and Bossman really didn't have a good restart, as he is now over 1 second behind his teammate. But Marcel, though, he's going right at Thomas into turn 11 and 12. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't see what happened to him, but Marcel is pressuring Thomas. Could this be Marcel's second victory of the season?
I think he's in a very good position right now.
He definitely is.
The only person who can challenge him on his strategy is Joe, down in P5. But I'm not sure if Joe will have the pace.
Well, yeah, you do have... Oh, and Paco has retired, and that is... That could be championship set. If Jared manages to drive himself up to a good, decent position and somehow get 10 or 12 points or something, I think the championship will be hard for Paco then. But fortunately for Paco, Jared is down in a bad position himself right now, as we see that Marcel is still... Yeah, and Marcel is still going at Thomas. He wants that first place now. His teammate behind is catching up a little too. I think it's...
I think Marcel's being patient.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's looking patient because he hasn't gone for any ridiculous dive or anything right now. If you could have a look at Joe and Michael down in 5th and 4th, Lewis, that would be great.
Yeah.
As we're still following Marcel as he's trying to get Thomas somewhere. Can he do it on the long straight? He's in non-ERS mode at the moment, so he's definitely waiting for his moment, as he's now putting it up into overtake. He's 3 tenths behind. Thomas actually weaving a little, and Marcel, will he go for it? Not here. Can he go for it into turn 2? He's close, 2 tenths behind. He will be going for the outside lane, and he just swoops ahead of Thomas there.
Good move there from Marcel, being very patient.
It was a good move, and he just swooped around the outside of Thomas, although Thomas is still right behind him and will be fighting for that position. In the meantime, Joe is... Ultras, I'm not sure, but I mean, after lap 6 they start to go off, I think.
Yeah.
In the meantime, Joe is still working on Michael Marlowe, trying to get closer.
Michael's on wide.
Yeah, but I don't think Joe is close enough.
He thought about it. He was too far behind.
James might have been our first victim if turn 12. And next is Jack Yates, getting passed by Charlie Sampson for 7th. Oh, but look at this. Joe going down the inside of Marlowe into turn 1, and Marlowe braking way too late, going on the grass.
I missed that. I just seen.
And he has retired, so that is another casualty, but just 3 casualties so far, which promotes Tim to 5th place. And being on the super soft tires Do you think Tim might be another driver who can get a podium now?
For sure, yeah. No. I think this race is Marcel's to lose.
Definitely.
And looking at the ties, down to 4th, down to like.
Oh, and look at this. We have a big fight for P6 at the moment with Charlie, Jack, Christos, and Callum Anderson. All driving in line at the moment. Callum might be falling a bit off them right now, but...
Oh, Charlie.
Oh, and Charlie has a bad run. Look at Jack. Can he do it around the outside of Charlie Sampson? Charlie breaks late. Jack's end up a little on the grass. I think Christos might have lost a little wing on Jack out of the corner, actually.
Yes, he has.
Oh, that is a big shame. I don't see...
Don't do that.
That is a shame for Christos. He was really unlucky then, and Marcel is pulling away from Thomas at the moment. So I guess lap 4 or 5 is when the ultras start fading off then.
Lee Kelly got 5-second stop-go penalty. So his weekend's just getting even worse.
Interesting to see, but do you see that Lee and we have laid out of the party, so I'm gonna apologize to anyone who watches, but we'll be back in a moment. And we are back. What a bad moment for PlayStation to kick me out of the park. And it's kicking me out again. Oh wait. Lewis. Oh, well, that is not good. I think it might be a PlayStation problem. If you could... Yeah, can you try to make one and invite me, and we'll see if it works. If not, we're gonna do this in game chat, which I really don't want to. I don't know. Well, I can't do much about PlayStation Network problems, unfortunately. But Luis is gonna try to make a new party, and we'll see if that works. And it's not working right now, at least. Well, we still have Jack trying to get around Charlie Sampson for 6th place. However, Christos with his wing damage have fallen off, those two. Callum has also fallen off a bit. Jack, however, is still trying to grind his way past Charlie. Anybody who is in the live stream and watching, I hope you can hear me. And there we have Paco too. Well, interesting to notice, Jared, but Nino has also crashed out now. Which means that yes. Yeah, that's what I was asking. If you could check that, Paco. Oh, well, we didn't see that. I didn't watch you. Well, I did. I didn't notice Nino. And stream is still not being used as footage. I'll try again. Oh, well, so you can hear... Alright, they can hear me, but not you two. Well, if you just start trying to make a party then, Lewis, I'm just gonna be commentating it in the meantime now. And Jack does look like he has a good run on Charlie Sampson. Charlie locking up into that corner. Jack has really been trying to get past Charlie for the last few laps. He's still close, but he can't find his way around at the moment. They're now catched up by Callum Anderson and Chris Ryan too. Chris Ryan driving, both Chris and Callum driving for a strong finish today, as we see Chris trying to get around, as Jack gets around Charlie and Chris gets around Callum. So 2 moves in a short time there. Can Chris now go after P6? We will have to see. Well, Charlie though, he's still sticking with Jack Yates and will be trying to get back past Jack. Although it has seemed like Jack might have a little more pace than Charlie. Now Marcel still in the lead, almost 7 seconds ahead of Joe Hollis. Joe though, he hasn't been on a podium for a long time now, so he might be looking for another podium again. And with 1 Williams out and 1 Williams down in 12th, this is the McLaren's chance to kind of get back in the constructor fight with him again. As Charlie is still trying to find a way past Jack again. Onto the long straight for these two drivers. Well, onto the straight at least. Charlie not quite close enough. Can he find a way past in turn 3 then? Jack is a little too far ahead. Chris trying to get back to this fight, but seems to not be able to catch up to them right now. So we can see that for the moment it is Jack who has that P5, and it is 10 seconds up to his teammate for the team. Bruce Daly is in 4th. He's catching on Thomas. Thomas, however, should be thinking about pitting soon. As we see Thomas, will he be pitting on this lap? He will be pitting on this lap, and it's definitely going to be 2 soft tires. No penalty this time. As we see that Jack is also pitting, so that's an early pit stop for Jack from the super soft tires. No penalty for him either. Chris Ryan, however, has Yes, Luis. Oh, you gotta send me a message on Twitter if you're able to create a party. As we see that Chris Ryan is trying to grind his way past Charlie Sampson. He's just behind, clipping the grass there. He's gotta be careful about doing that. He can spin out quite easily by doing that. But it's obvious that Chris sees this as a chance to finally get a good finishing position again. The gap between Marcel and Joe, however, has stabilized at around 6.7. Gap down to Tim after that is 6.2. Jared on 10 laps old soft tires. I'm not sure if he's gonna take them to the end or not. He will probably try, but I don't know if he can. And Callum attacks Chris Ryan now. He wants that position as Chris goes into the pit. And we can see that Christos is back on the tail of Jack Yates. And you got kicked out again. Yeah, I think it's an issue with PlayStation Network at the moment, which doesn't allow us to be in parties. Certainly looks like it for us at least. As we see that Christos is trying to find just a little more pace to get closer to Jack and maybe do an overtaking maneuver. It's Toros against Merc. And we're gonna stick on with Christos and Jack right now. I think, but look at this though. Callum has just lost a lot of time to Charlie, as Marcel has been in the pit. I didn't notice that, but he is on soft tires now. Joe seems to have lost a little time. And look at this though. Jared Fosbury is up to 4th place now when people are pitting, but he might still have to pit again. I can't say for sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you have to pit. Well, Fosbury just over a second behind. Oh, and that is Fosbury out for you. And he just too bad, Jared, too bad. So this means that both of the Renaults has crashed out together and the championship fight lives on. We also have one Williams out. In the meantime, Lee Kelly is still in the race, trying to get something for the Williams team today. Christos still working his way on getting past Jack Yates, as Billy has retired. And I think Billy, I'm not sure where he retired, but definitely more and more people retiring now. And look at this, we have this four-way battle between... no. Oh, and Charlie Sampson out breaking himself into turn 1, almost going out in on the grass there. Well, I don't think you guys can hear Jared, but I can absolutely tell you he is not happy at all. And Luis tries to invite me to a party again, but gets kicked out. Nothing new there. And right now we only have 2 fights on track. It's between Charlie Sampson and Chris Ryan, and Christos and Jack Yates. So, anybody wants to guess how many more drivers will retire before the race is done? As we see that Christos, he's following Jack, but he doesn't seem to be able to get past him. Both running the similar ERS modes. As Charlie's passing Chris Ryan into turn 1. Can he keep Chris Ryan behind him now? Sorry to everybody watching, but I'm kind of trying to not laugh a little right now too. There is some people who almost makes me laugh right now. On the other hand, Marcel is looking strong to get his 2nd victory for the season. And his teammate too, Luis Wasman, in 3rd place at the moment. While Charlie has pulled away from Chris Ryan. Callum Anderson, though, he wants that last point. And James Sands is out of the race too. Oh, and Sands have lost it out of turn 12. Gonna have a look at the lone leader, Marcel Holler. If he's smart now, he doesn't push it too much, he keeps it safe. You are right, Jared, you can't live the session. But look at this though, where are we? Do have a 3-way battle right now. Well, almost a 3-way battle between Charlie Sampson, Chris Ryan and Callum Anderson. Fighting for those. Well, you do have a point there, Dark Bolt. Lewis managing to DNF in commentary. That's not every day you see. It also isn't his fault though. As we see that Chris Ryan now has gotten closer to Charlie Sampson again. But Callum is also right behind him. Chris trying to find, going a bit wider, getting gravel on his tires. You really don't want to that. And this is going to be slipstream party for the Ferrari and Force India, but they're not quite close enough to Charlie Sampson on the main straight. Going into turn 1 and 2 though, Chris is close to Charlie Sampson. Can he get a move into turn 3? He's gonna have to do it around the outside of Charlie then, and Charlie locks up a little, but oh, but Chris does have the inside line in this next corner, and he gets past. And Charlie is instantly under pressure from Callum Anderson. Aggressive fighting for the last few points. Joe, however, catches the 2nd on Marcel since they pitted now. As we see that Callum is staying close going into turn 11 and 12. Can we see another casualty? They do get through. Callum, however, is not close enough to Charlie to make him move in to turn 13. But look at this though, we do have another battle emerging too. It's the battle between Louis Wasman and Thomas McIver. Going into turn 3, Thomas is getting close. Louis on 10 laps old, soft. So a little more wear to his tires than Thomas. 10 laps old, soft. He's got to be in the pit early then. Gonna stick on with this battle for a short while now. Oh, and that looks like Thomas have either tapped Louis or de-synced him. That will most likely be investigated after the race. It was de-sync. It kind of looked like it too. However, I'm pretty confident Louis Wasman will still report it after the race, and right now I guess that Wasman will have front wing damage. He might not actually have front wing damage, but he's certainly under pressure from Jack Yates and Christos kilometers behind him. Christos pretty much been following Jack around the track for a few laps now. As we get an onboard view from Jack behind Louis Wasman. He's not close enough, but can Jack get a good run and do it into turn 3? 3 tenths separating the Sauber and the Merc. He's not going for it this time. But we'll probably see a move from Charlie on Chris into turn 3. He's thinking about it, but he's trying to go for a switchback, and Chris loses the back end out of turn 3, and I think there might have been contact between Callum Anderson and Chris Ryan. And Chris is standing still. He is frustrated. He might have just seen his possibility of points today go away. However, further up the grid we see that Jack is right behind Louis Wasman, and he will be trying to get past this time. With DRS, can he do it into turn 13? He's not really quite close enough. And Christos seemed like he's fallen a bit off Jack and Louis Wasman. Louis seems to have gotten a good exit from the last corner. However, Jack is close, and with a good run in turn 1 and 2, he can have a possibility into turn 3 again. He's thinking about it, and it's... Oh, but you see that Christos might be actually going for a move on Jack too. However, we do see a few lock-ups there. Nobody going for the move, as Marcel has actually extended his lead a little again to Joe, so... And Chris is still going around, but he is definitely not happy now. As we see that Jack is close to Louis, he's trying to find out where he's going to pass him. Trying to find some sort of gap to go for. Staying close in turn 11 and 12 to get a run into turn 13 maybe. And he's just 2 tenths behind, and we will see a move from Jack on Louis into turn 13. He's getting the move done, and Louis looked like he went for the switchback, but he couldn't really perform it. But can Jack stay ahead of... Oh, I think I saw some lag from Christos there. Can't say for sure, but... Jack up to 5th place, and right now 4th and 5th for the Mercs today. See, it's gonna be interesting to see how it develops during the last few laps. Lewis is still right at the back of Jack. Jack in his first race in IRL, putting in a good performance today. He's been in a few battles, he's made a few clean moves, and right now looking to get a 5th or 6th place, as Crystals is falling a bit off Jack and Lewis. Crystals also with older tires than the 2 drivers ahead of him. But Lewis though, he's staying close, and he's gonna stay close in turn 11 and 12. Can he get a good run into turn 13? He's a little further behind. And yeah, I was going to see if we had any other battles, but it is this battle for the moment. It is the battle we have. Lee isn't too far ahead of Chris, but Lee is on fresh ultra soft tires, so he will not be kept by Christian. As Christos is falling off Lewis and Jack, but Jack is pushing now. He's trying to pull away from Lewis Wasman, and is almost pulled out of DRS. Now it's 9/10, just above a second now. Come on, Jack, you can do this. You will have a good IRL debut if you can do this. The car number 88. And he might have just looked like he's pulled away enough now. Unfortunately for us though, that might be the last battle we had this race done. I don't really see Marcel being catched by 5 seconds those last few laps. Tim might be able to catch up to Thomas and challenge him. Takis Christos may be able to catch up to Vasman. So we're gonna have a look at Marcel and see how he's doing. Clipping that curb and the outside curb there. He has the lapped Red Bull of Shane behind him. Takes turn 11 and 12, maybe a bit cautiously, but he can afford to do that now. He's not under that much pressure at the moment, as Lee sets the fastest lap of the race. Can have a look at him, see how his lines is around this track now. He will probably be 12 seconds to Callum. Yeah, maybe we can see Lee catching Callum. It is 12 seconds, it isn't a lot of time, but we don't know. I do however see that Christos is dipping in and out of the DRS of Louis Wasman. Oh, and he's definitely lagging. Well, on our screen at least. And we're gonna see if I can get into a party with Lewis for the last part of the race then. And it looks like we're able to be in a party right now, so Lewis is then back.
Yeah. I've recovered my crash, that vault.
And as we are in the last laps, I don't know if you catched all the action, Lewis, or not. But do you
just
think?
in my phone.
Do you think we'll see anything on the last few laps now? I can see that Christos is catching up to Luis Wassmann again, so maybe we'll have a... Oh! And as I said, he's pushing the car a lot out of turn 12, and it is a retirement in turn 12 for Christos. Please, safety car.
A safety car would be great, but...
Come on, like safety car.
3.5 laps left.
Safety car.
I bet no one could predict this top 3. Marcel, Joe, and try and catch.
Well, I mean, people might have guessed Marcel to be on the podium, but I don't think many would have thought Joe would get on the podium in this race, considering his second part of the season haven't been great, and I don't think many people would have expected Thomas on the podium either. But they're both on the podium now. Marcel is looking to get his second victory.
Very dominant drive today by Marcel. No mistakes.
Yeah, I don't think... I think that after he pulled out that gap to Joe, I don't think he's done anything else but just controlling the pace and making sure to not get penalties.
It reminds me of a Sebastian Vettel from like the Red Bull days.
Good days that was. And right now the race has died. We won't have any more battles. I'm pretty sure of that. Luis Wassmann is 2.5 seconds behind Jack. Tame is 3.2 behind Thomas. 5 seconds separating the top 2. Ooh, and Marcel getting a penalty. I don't know if he has any more penalties or if Joe has, but right now it is just penalties that could take away the win from Marcel. Penalties or a crash. Oh, you know what? Lee might be able to catch up to Callum. 3.4 seconds now.
I was going to say, I'll just join back and there's just no battles.
Yeah, the battles are pretty much over unless we see Lee maybe catching Callum. I think that's pretty much the only battle we might be seeing.
Yeah, I think Lee will get Callum. Actually, it'll be close.
Yeah, you gotta consider he's already done 5 laps on those Ultras. They should be falling off. He's definitely still looking quick on those Ultras.
It would have been interesting to see if Jared could have took them soft to the end.
Yeah, but unfortunately he did the bottle.
Yeah, there's a slight bottle today.
Big bottle. Maybe not a big bottle. His race was kind of ruined already. But he could have still gotten a good finish, as we see that Callum now is under pressure from Lee Kelly. And this should be an easy done move for Lee on Callum.
Callum's got a lot more ERS, but them tyres are just that much quicker.
Yeah, and you got to remember that it is a difference in the pace. And why risking that much on this second to last lap?
That was just stupid by Callum.
Yeah, well, I mean, he was there though, so Lee should have maybe left him more space too.
True.
To be honest, I just don't see why they're risking that much on the second to last lap. They're either ending up with 4 or 2 points, that easy.
Yeah, look. I understand Callum defending, but when Lee's how much quicker, I knew, well,
yeah.
If Lee knew it.
And for the last lap, we're going to follow Marcel around the track in the first sector at the moment. Not looking like he's pushing too much. And as I said, Aaron says the same. Callum should have gotten more room to work with from Lee there. So it's a
Come Marcel crash. Could be hilarious.
well, he's actually extended his gap up to 6.2 now, so I think he's been controlling the pace for most of the race. I don't know how much penalty anyone of the top 5 actually have when I think about it. But right now it's...
I was trying to make a new party.
for most of the race. But it looks like Marcel is going to go over the line in first place. And he's weaving a little to show that he's happy with this finish. We see that Joe is also driving with a black helmet, so let's see how many of these finishers is driving with a black helmet. As Joe and Marcel might have had the same amount of penalties. Thomas, then in 4th, Tim Brustalins. In 5th, we have Jack Yates in his debut race, so it's a good debut for Jack today.
Yeah.
So far 5 of 5 with black helmets. Vasman will be coming in 6th. Sampson will be coming into 7th. Nobody has switched positions because of penalties yet to lose.
That's interesting, that is.
And Charlie, I don't know, he's weaving a little, so I don't know if that means he's happy with this race or not. Callum's gonna cross the line in 8th place.
Why is he slowing down?
I think he's letting Lee past. He did let Lee past. So, well, I mean, that was strange. Last driver to pass the line then is Chris Ryan, and as far as I've seen, everyone of the drivers finishing have worn black helmets in respects for Charlie Whiting.
Yeah, I remember earlier in qualifying, I was looking who had the black helmet. It was everybody but 2. I remember it was Billy and somebody else.
Well, that's not too bad then.
Yeah.
The drivers were encouraged and looked like at least almost everyone did do it then. And it is Marcel's second victory of the season, ahead of Joe Hollis and Thomas McIver. Joe, he has had a few podiums, but McIver is on his first podium. Tim with a 4th place, then Jack in his debut with a 5th place. Luis Wasman down in 6th. He might have been up there for the podium fight if it weren't for that desync. Charlie Sampson in 7th, Lee Kelly in 8th, Callum Anderson in 9th, and Chris Ryan in 10th.
Can I just point out, Tim did 19th to 4th.
That's a fair point, so...
And Joe did 13th to 2nd.
Well, I mean, that makes it interesting then for everybody to see whose performance they think has been the best today, because 19th to 4th is definitely up there in the driver of the day discussion. Same as 13th to 2nd. And Marcel with his... Was it 3rd to 1st?
Dominant drive.
And I mean, that was a good drive by Marcel too, so...
Been trying catches up there. No one expected him on the podium.
If I have a few minutes to spare, so there won't be any interviews today. Unfortunately, we like to do those interviews, but if we don't have time, we don't have time. But Marshall, you and me are here, so for your driver of the day, who is your pick?
Oh God, putting on the spot. I'd say Tim, 19th to 4th. Because I know he's been struggling for a few races, getting into incidents. I think today's the day that his confidence boosts back up again.
Well, definitely good pick there. I'm kind of fiddling between drivers myself too. It is Thomas's first podium. It is Jack's debut with a fifth, but that 19th to fourth, it I just can't get around that. Joe's
Yeah,
13th to second is also good, but like 19th is 6 more positions behind.
yeah.
So
And
I got to go with Tim too as my driver of the day.
I
However,
think,
the drivers have votes too, so it's
yeah,
definitely gonna be interesting to see what the drivers votes. But
I
do you have a
can't imagine.
moment?
Oh, moment of the race. Yeah, it's making a new party.
Well, for the small part of the race
Um,
that you actually did get to watch, then.
um, Probably people like Paco and Lee and Nino all crashing at the first sector of start of the race.
Oh yeah, you have a
That,
good point there.
then maybe the moment Jared crashed out, which I unfortunately missed because PlayStation Network.
Yeah, I got to say my moment is, I don't know, it might be the crossing of the finishing line for Callum and Lee, because I don't know
That was
if
strange. That was.
Callum felt that he was in fault of that incident they had, or what it was, but it was nonetheless great sportsmanship by the two drivers there.
Yeah, I'm not sure
And
if Callum needed to do that though,
now he
because
didn't need
in my
to,
opinion,
but like there is
yeah,
some there, like when it comes to great sportsmanship, it's rarely things that you need to do. It's more things like
yeah,
you do to like show respect and stuff, and he definitely did that. Although I do still stand with my decision that I think it was more Lee's fault, but still nonetheless.
mm,
Well, for that I don't have any more time to spare now, so for everyone who's been watching, thank you, and to everyone who wants to watch more, we do have IRL F1 at 4:15 tomorrow, around Australia, obviously. Then
follow us on Twitter.
on exactly, follow us on Twitter at F1 underscore IRL. Next track is Monaco, which will be next weekend.
Oh, it's Monaco.
Do remember to subscribe and follow and like. Hit that notification button. And for next time, thank you and have a good night.